It's our first video, guys. Okay, so
Tell me where you wanna go. About you. Tell me where you wanna Let's go for gold.
okay, so the point of this video pretty much is to give you a chance to get to know us and kind of what our channel will be about. So, this is my husband, Matt.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Catherine, his wife.
And this is Frankie.
This is our puppy, Frankie.
Very energetic.
Very energetic. So, pretty much, Matt and I met when he was a senior in high school and I was a junior, and it was my first year at that school. And I was put in senior pre-calculus.
Wasn't very good at math.
Guess who did all my homework?
Me.
So, he sat behind me all year because all the seniors would normally sit in like the back 2 rows. And I guess he had a little crush on me all year and never said anything. And then finally, I didn't really have a boyfriend at the time. And
She did.
no, I didn't. Okay, I did. But then he I guess was over a friend's house and was like, oh, like, do you have Catherine's Snapchat? And he's like, yeah, like, here it is, man. And then he Snapchatted me that night and was like just sending me pictures of his face for a really long time. Like just random, like, didn't say hi or anything.
I didn't know what to say.
Really? Were you scared?
A little bit.
I'm not scary.
A little bit.
Why? You didn't know me that well at the time. You only would think I'm scary if you got to know me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, I was just like that girl you had a crush on in class. So he finally Snapchats me and was like, oh, you're in my math class, right? And I was like, yeah, I sit right in front of you. And he's like, no, actually, you sit one up and one to the right of me. And I was like, then why did you ask? And he's like, I wanted to make sure you noticed me. And that's where it all started. We dated for a while. We weren't that on and off type relationship. That's not, we don't have time for that. But, and then he went off to the army for basic training and I was at home and we had a long distance relationship for what, a year?
Yeah, a little over a year.
Yeah. For about 6 months, the only way we really talked was
Through letters.
well, mostly letters and then occasional phone calls.
Every once in a while.
And then there was like a family weekend towards the end. And then there was a month in between and then he graduated. And then he got stationed here in Virginia. And then we were like, look, we don't want to do long distance anymore. So we got married at a town hall. Very old-fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved here, and then we did like a bigger church wedding, I guess.
Around Christmas
Yeah, around
time.
Christmas time this year.
Mhm.
It was very pretty, very fun.
Very fun.
And yeah, so here we are. Oh, we got Frankie in September too. We forgot to mention that, even though he's sitting right here.
Mm-hmm.
You're so cute, Frank. Mwah. You're so cute. You're such a prince. But is there any details I missed or you'd like to add?
Not really. We planned to get married for a month before we actually did.
No, at town hall?
Mhm.
No, that was like 3 months.
3 months?
That was like 3 months-ish.
Ooh.
We figured that out when I came to visit you in like March, and I was like, look, I don't want to be apart anymore. This is dumb.
Mhm.
And then you were like, okay, we'll figure it out. And then we just kind of talked and schemed and conspired, and then we tied the knot in June.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
We did. And then, so yeah. Oh, Frank. So I'll actually tell you the story about how we got Frankie. So it was like mid-September at the time, and it was the first time I went back to visit my family since I moved, and Matt couldn't come because he couldn't get time off work. So I get a text in the airport that morning before I took off, and he's like, "What's that dog breed you really like?" And I said, "Oh, French Bulldogs." And then the flight from here to where my parents live is only like an hour and a half, not even, like an hour, 15 minutes. And I get off the plane, and my mom's fiance picks me up, and we're just talking, and I get a text from Matt, and he's like, "I think I did something." And I was like,
did a little something.
"What did you do, Matt?" And he's like, "I got a dog." And I was like, "You did what?" So in the time that I left the apartment to the time that I got off the plane, which is maybe a 2 or 3 hour time span, he bought a dog.
Yes, I did.
And I was like, "Oh, interesting." Like, I wasn't sure where it all came from and like the thought and everything. So we talked back and forth with the breeder and everything, and we arranged to go pick Frankie up in Ohio. I think a week later. Yeah, a week later.
A week and a day.
Yeah.
We picked him up on a Saturday.
Yeah. So then we drove all the way there, and we picked him up and drove all the way back, and he was like less than half of his size that he is right now. Like,
and
he
he's
was
a small dog.
tiny.
Now, so
And he
very
was
small.
very sleepy all the time. And then he got very energetic. And then now he's our little beast.
Your little baby.
But
What else?
what else could we do as like a get to know you type thing?
I've been in the Army for almost 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very interesting experience if you don't like guns and getting yelled at and different stuff like that. What, Frank? What?
And then being a girlfriend / wife to someone in the Army is very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's very tough to plan things because you kind of never know, like, if they're at work or if they're going to be on mission or if they're going into the field. Like, it kind of takes time to kind of get
used to it.
get used to like how everything works and like the timing of things. But pretty much before I moved here, it would be a lot of like, we would kind of text or Snapchat during the day when I was at school, because I was in high school last year. I was a senior, and not a lot of communication during the day. Not only just because of his work, it's because I would be at school or in class or whatever. Sometimes. Shut up. And then after school, normally Matt would kind of get off work around like.
I get off at like.
You got
3,
off sooner.
4.
That was when you did missions. That you would get off a bit sooner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would get out of school around like, I'd get home from school around like 3:45ish, and I would come home, I would eat food, I'd kind of catch up with my mom or whatever, my dad or whoever's house I was at, and then we would sit on FaceTime from the moment I was done talking to my parents for probably what, like 4 or 5 hours a night, like every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't like sit there like all the time and just talk for like 4 or 5 hours straight. Like, I'd be doing homework, never, kind of, maybe sometimes, or like I'd be doing things on my computer, or he'd be playing video games, or he would be doing stuff on his own. Like, it wasn't like just non-stop like constant talking. It was more like we kind of just did our own thing but had them on FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried my best. I worked my butt off, and with help from my parents, I visited Matt, I think like every month last year. And I wouldn't visit the months he'd come back, obviously, because there's no point. But I would fly down either if I had like a half day on a Friday, if I didn't have school, or if I didn't have like, if I had a lot of like arts or like extracurricular type things, I would leave school early and I would fly down on like a Friday and I would fly back home on a Sunday. So I would normally stay in a hotel because obviously he lives in the barracks and that's a no-go. But I would stay in a super nice hotel, and it was a good amount of money, but like there was a good AAA discount for like how nice the hotel was. It really wasn't too bad. And the flights, if you plan them enough in advance, they're pretty cheap too.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They're not bad at all. But so yeah, I try my best to just come down as much as possible. We would hang out or like go out to dinner, maybe hang out with his friends. Like we just tried to spend spend as much time as possible together because it was really special when we got to hang out because it wasn't terribly often. And then finally we were like, I kind of want to see you more often now. And we found this apartment complex. We got all of our orders together. We just kind of got our life together and just figured it all out in a really short amount of time.
Yeah.
And then I moved. I packed up all my stuff. My dad drove down my car and then his parents drove down the moving truck.
Yeah.
And we moved all of our stuff into this apartment within a 4-hour span. It was quick. When I've moved so much in my life that I kind of gotten it down to like a science almost.
Yeah.
So I know where my stuff is. I'm unpacking it. I'm getting it done. I want to feel homey here. Like I want to, you know, just not have to be going through boxes and stuff. So I got it all done within the first day and a little bit the next day. Frankie, what are you doing, pal? He does some weird like positions when he's kind of relaxing. Like
when he sleeps.
Yeah, he's
a very interesting.
I don't think he likes our light very much, so he's kind of trying to bury his head away from the light.
Yeah.
It's a very bright light. We have a ring light just because the lighting in our apartment is very, very awkward. Like we have these lights up here above us, like behind us. It's like above our counter. So they're just very like weird placement and we don't have anything in front of us. We just have these kitchen lights, our dining room lights back there, and then there's nothing here in the living room. And then the only like source of light that we have would be our bathroom and our bedroom. So I thought a ring light would be a very good investment. But Matt kind of came up to me a couple weeks ago and he's like, oh, want to start making like YouTube videos? And I was like, I mean, what do you think? Like this seems like kind of, I don't know, odd. I was just shocked.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then yesterday we really got into it and we kind of just got everything we needed, and now here we are. I sat yesterday editing our intro for like 5 hours. It's not the best intro, but we're also just starting off, so I think it's pretty good for where we're at.
Yeah, there's some pretty good pictures from the wedding.
And of our cute little prince.
Cute little puppy standing on my head. Thank you for that.
Also, if anyone has any recommendations for places to take your dog to get trained, or training tips, please leave them in the comments below, because clearly we need help.
Very, very helpful.
Hi, baby. Hi, Frank. I just got a nose full of tongue. But I think that's, for just starting off and for our first video, I think we kind of got everything that gives you kind of a good idea of what our life looks like.
Now you know a little bit about us.
And I feel like our channel is going to be a lot of like maybe Q&As, like
what
vlogs.
we do on a daily basis sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get more into what I do as a job.
Ooh, maybe if you get permission, I can follow you around work. Do you think they
No.
could give you permission to do that? No?
No.
Even if I kind of like seen but not heard?
No.
You don't think I could?
No.
Could I maybe come in like when you're doing CQ and I can kind of just, like, you can give me like the lowdown of what you do if it's at shop?
Maybe.
So maybe we'll have to find a time or a good time to figure it out, but I definitely kind of want to show you what Matt does on a daily basis because it's really interesting.
To some people it'll be interesting. Other people they'd be like, not that good.
Well, like people that are probably higher ranked probably aren't terribly impressed, I assume.
Just most people, what I do might not be that interesting as an infantryman, but
I kind of find it interesting. It's cool. You guys are kind of like the brains of the missions.
I mean it's important for what I do on a daily basis, but
I kind of find it cool.
yeah.
Yeah. I went once during Matt's 24-hour shift, so pretty much you just have to see, like, check people in, or like if people bring guests into the building. So he did it for the building he works in. Sometimes it's at the barracks, sometimes it's there at Frankie's hanging off my lap. But Frank, kiddo. Was that you?
No.
Or was that the dog?
The dog.
Frank. But, and he kind of showed me around the building, and it's like, there's a gym in there, there's all kinds of different, was it different platoons, or is it different, like, what is it? There's like 3rd, 4th, what is it?
What do you mean?
You said like 3rds over here. There's like different sections.
Different platoons.
Yeah.
For different parts of the hallways.
Yeah.
Different companies on each floor.
Mm-hmm. And I just found it cool because I'd never been in there before. I've heard so much because I know some of the guys he works with, and he just talks about work, and I can never really picture what goes on in a day. Frank, are you living?
This is fine.
He's just chilling. Hope he's just chilling. But, so it was kind of cool to see where Matt works. Sometimes even around the holidays, they'll put like a little stocking, like they'll do some like little festive things. Like they'll have like bins for like Halloween candy, like for people. What was the Halloween candy for?
I think it was just Christmas that a bunch of people got together, made us a box of candy, a big box of candy, and gave it to the battalion.
The box went to my shoulder. Like,
It was a
it was
big-ass
a big ass box. But yeah, we keep getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, that's kind of us at the moment. But more of like what we're doing. We're gonna probably do like a day in our life type vlog, maybe trips we go on, if there's like a big event we're doing, or I might do some videos on my own, maybe some like makeup tutorial stuff, kind of just like a YouTube channel that will like, that can target, like, not target, but host to multiple different subjects. Like it's not just couples talking about one subject. It's maybe Matt will take the camera and do something on his own, or maybe I'll do like a day in life. Like I think I'm going to visit my friend this weekend, maybe I'll take and vlog there, going to visit her in college. Like it'll be all kinds of things. It won't just be one topic. It's kind of like a play it by ear situation.
Yeah, so if a bunch of people, and we're not just targeting one audience.
Yeah,
It
that's
can
what I
be
was kind of
like-
trying to go at.
If people want to see what we do, we can do that. If people want to learn how to do makeup from you, we can do that.
Kind of good.
I'll see if anyone wants to learn about how I shoot, how I
That's
clean my
not allowed on
weapons.
YouTube. That's
Yeah,
not
it is.
allowed on YouTube. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. There's
No.
a whole channel for weapons.
Seriously?
Yes.
I thought it wasn't allowed, Frank. Frank's had enough relaxation. Really? I didn't know that was allowed on YouTube. Well, we're trying to also make our channel like family friendly as well. Like, kind of just keep it. Okay, I think Frankie wants to go play. Ooh. But
He's
I
gonna pipe in now.
look at how much he's shedding. There's fur all over me. Love to see it. But I look at I have like a gray and black, like greeny sweatshirt on now.
Yeah.
Well, I'll fix it later. But, yeah, so. You can back talk your mother. You can back talk your mother.
You just yawned.
Good. No, see him. I see him.
Anyway.
I know what's brewing. But yeah, so this is kind of our first video, first shot. Yeah, it's a little like, we're gonna be much better with organizing things and figuring out what we're gonna talk about. Like this, we didn't really have an idea of what we were gonna talk about. We kind of just
got into it and wanted you guys to know what we're like,
yeah,
what we're gonna do, what you can expect from the channel, things like that.
Yeah. So, I guess this is all I got to do for today.
Yeah.
Well, what are we gonna say at the end? It's awkward. How do you end the video? Closing statement.
I don't know.
You've made fun of me for this. But, see, how do you close a freaking video? Exactly.
I don't know. You just, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, watch the video.
No, that's
And,
so dumb!
see more coming soon.
No, that's so